Time. Count to go. No, go ahead, Brie.
No, you go ahead and just share something with Tyler.
Okay, you share something with Tyler. I'm not hearing it up this time. Bree, look around the room. Okay, fine. Well, no, I'll talk. I don't have any material, Bree. Clearly, I used all of it up front. What little I had, and I want to cover it now, so it's not awkward. But Tom, now the two of us are just talking. Tom, I feel like we don't really talk. I feel like we have a very contentious relationship. Are you going to now give me the silent treatment because I mentioned that we weren't talking and you're trying to make a bit out of it? All right. Gray, how are you going back there? I appreciate you still masking. I've started noticing people masking when they come into my work, and I am not anymore. And I know that I should. But at this point, I'm like, after doing all the things right and having everybody else be like, nah, fuck that, I'm kind of just like, just give it to me. I want the population to be weaned. So I want a mass culling. I want the plague to run rampant through us. I want it to mutate to the point where it's strong enough to kill more people. I want us all to die.
Yeah.
And then I want the whales to thrive. And I want the whales to inherit the earth. I don't want them to do, I want it to be like my inheritance. My dad gave me a family crest of ours. Not like a metal, wrought iron, like cool family crest. He just went to Google Images, typed in our last name, and printed the first result as large as he could. And I took it to my work and I put it in our break room. And I just left it there. I want the whales to do that with the earth. I want them to get it, be like, what the fuck is this? And then take it back and put it there. Good. Not funny, but we talked long enough for a brief your next comic coming to the stage at this rip-roaring time at Ribald Brewing Company. You recognize him from the YouTube video. He texted you late at night. Please put your hands together for the one, the only, the lone Tom. Woo!
T.E. That's right. T.E.
Okay, I'm gonna scoot away from your recording.
This is on because you're okay, cool. So, I got a little nervous. Oh, about Kyle. So Kyle isn't his name. Apparently on the video he's actually like, that is my name, and the people's name. Okay, I don't want to know his name. I don't even know. I don't even know. I'll tell you this though. How it started was he and someone else were talking during someone's set.
I know, you told it 2 weeks ago. I heard. That's why I was under your most.
Which was just happening a few minutes ago, a minute or so. During Trevor's, there was some talking happening.
You call that a set?
Right there.
There's no rules tonight, Tom. Leave me alone.
There's general rules of don't talk while people are on the mic. So, in honor, just to keep a through line, so it wasn't like a fluke, I have this to say. Fuck you! And you, both of you. Sorry.
Bring it up.
Swallow.
I'm a pro. I know how to swallow.
So, I got called a soy boy recently. in Facebook more. I'm still doing that, drinking and fucking getting into arguments with fucking shark garglers on that. And I don't know. Oh, some argument about Jordan Peterson. Have you seen this guy lately? Like, he is spiraling. Whatever you thought of him before, dude is spiraling hard. Like, if there are people that care about him in his life, we need to take that shit away from him and set him aside. But apparently nobody does. Anyway, I was called a soy boy because I don't even remember. Something about Jordan Peterson. You know, he's a Jungian psychologist. Did you know that? Jungian, meaning in the tradition of Carl Jung. And it occurred to me that in a different timeline, if he'd been born first, Carl Jung was alive now, he would not call himself a Petersonian.
Is that the whole bit?
That's it. Soy boy. I have to keep coming back to it because it's sticking with me. I'm like, I do enjoy some soy products on occasion. I don't know. I like edamame. That's soybeans, right? Just straight up soybeans. I used to use soy milk more often. I don't anymore because apparently it's not that good for you. I don't know. I use almond milk or oat milk or whatever. But apparently the real the stuff the cool people are using, instead of mashed up nuts and rice and whatnot, get this, you're never gonna believe this. They use the mammary secretions of a large mammal. Yeah, like a bodily secretion squeezed out of it. That's the way the nuts and the, oh, that's gross. They like the, and there is an actual FDA allowed level of blood and pus in milk. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of blood and pus in my oat milk. And I'm not a vegan or anything, but there is. If you like milk, if you're an adult and you're drinking milk now, I don't know what to tell you. But Jordan Peterson became famous. I mean, he was already a psychologist, and he had published a book. It was like 12 rules on how to clean your room or some dumb fucking thing. And but he became very controversial. He's, by the way, if you don't know who he is, he's this Canadian
Nazi.
I mean, he's fasci adjacent.
Vampire.
He's not an overt. None of these Nazis. Very few of them call themselves Nazis. He just has some. He sounds like Kermit the Fash. He's talks about lobsters and how you want to be a lobster. For some reason, it's funnier if you know what I'm talking about. But he rose to prominence when there was some controversial law in Canada having to do with transgender people. I don't even remember what it was, bathrooms or sporting events or some shit. And he got very public about it. And that gave him this sudden rush of like alt-right, incel, teen, early 20s men, boys, whatever you want to call it, boys to men. And now that's what he's kind of doubled down and dug in, and that's what he's known for. And I say this now on video because 10 years from now, 20 years, no one will know who that motherfucker was. He's a footnote. Woo! Anyway, I also was several times lately, I've had people, I was complaining about, someone was like, what about emojis, blah, blah. I'm like, why do we even have to do this? At some point, I believe, at some point, there'll be a grand awakening of people that are like, oh, we've been inserting little cartoon faces into our missives, and like fruit and stuff, and are we still doing that?
Hell yeah.
We're still doing that, okay. And I would like, I don't think that's a good idea. And so it was like, okay, boomer. Motherfucker, when, boomer? Do you know when Woodstock happened? What year? Anybody? There you go. That's the year I was fucking born, dude. I'm not a boomer. If I was born the year that you were having their sex in the mud.
Gen X,
fest.
baby.
There you go. It's X. It's X. It's X. But I get called okay, boomer by somebody because I didn't like emojis. I was like, and just all of these fucking phrases, fucking let's go, Brandon. Just shallow cookie cutter kind of things. I guess because we're comics, we're used to like coming up with new stuff, but the regular people, they don't care. They just say the thing they heard over and over. Like, are you familiar with Let's Go, Brandon? There's a story. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Sure. This is how I understand the story. It's not a very good one.
Correct.
This is how I understand it. It was like a year ago or so, like about a year ago, there was a sporting event. I think it was NASCAR. I mean, I want to say NASCAR, but
Yeah, don't go.
that's a sporting event, sort of, right? They're a bunch of dipshits driving 180 miles an hour in a circle. That sounds like a sport to me. Anyway, there was a whole audience of NASCAR people at an event, and they started chanting, for some reason, fuck Joe Biden.
For some reason.
As that's what you do, I guess. Would not have occurred to me. Like, fuck Joe Biden. Okay, I don't, all these people want to fuck Joe Biden for some reason. I don't find him all that attractive. And I feel like, you should at least get his permission. Let him smell your hair or something. But anyway, so they're chanting this, fuck Joe Biden. And some sports reporter, I don't know who it is, I picture her having a helmet of blonde hair, but I don't know if that's true.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, if you went out on the... I was interviewing some NASCAR driver who I'm going to guess was named Brandon.
Yep.
Somebody named Brandon. And this was happening in the background. And she actually said, can you hear that? They're saying, let's go, Brandon. And I didn't see it, but I imagine he was like, no, they're not. That's not what they're saying, but cool. And that's it, that's the whole story, and it caught on. The kind of thing that should have been funny for about a week. This is why right-wing people can't fucking do comedy. They fucking can't do it. It's rife. Liberals give them so much material and they fuck it up. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm here to help. You know, like I got, like, here's one. MSNBC, more like MSMBS. Am I right? Hashtag, I got right-wing jokes. Hashtag hire me. Because you're failing at it so bad. And I think it comes down to, especially cultural right-wingers, cultural conservatives. I have been in such this like bunkered down, circle the wagons position for so long where the entire culture is making fun of them, so they can't make fun of themselves. They're like incapable of it. You watch leftists, people on the left, they'll make fun of lefty kind of things and then move on. Right-wingers literally can't do it. Someone needs to help them. I want to do that. I feel like I can bridge the gap. I'm a libertarian, so it's the Venn diagram. I'm the worst of everything. I've been told. Vat-grown meat, that came up. I was talking about the secretions, like, is it really better would you really rather drink bodily secretions or squeeze nut juice?
Hell yeah.
Nut
Secretions.
Yeah. I mean actual nuts, not D's. I'm not talking about D's.
That's good. Yeah.
But the issue, this is a real thing. Like, would you eat, even if you're wherever you're coming from, would you eat vat-grown meat?
Yeah.
Me too. Like, absolutely. My first thought was like, sci-fi. Actually, yes. A lot of people are grossed out. Hell no. These are meat eaters. Like, why? Because it didn't die screaming in pain, so it's not really meat.
Exactly.
What is it that you need from this? I'll eat the fuck out of some vat-grown meat.
What's that a receipt for, Tom?
I don't know. Well, god damn it. One egg McMuffin. Do you want to know? One egg McMuffin with a small orange juice and some coffee.
I was just curious.
Now you know my secret's out. Yeah, so a lot of these little incel guys kind of flocked around Jordan Peterson because they need their Tyler Durden or whatever. And, he's their Tyler Durden, and he's not really doing the trick. Hopefully they're going to blow up society. Like Operation Mayhem, is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Anybody remember? Bob's got bitch tits. Anyway. Bunch of fucking non-fungible tokens. I've decided to use the term non-fungible token as an insult from now on. I'm just, that'll be mine. Just like, what's up? Non-fungible token. There, it's you. I don't know what it means, but I'm going to call people that. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm just going to be in the audience. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to do nothing.
Flip a table.
Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm over my issues. I'm over my anger issues. For the moment, just right now. Right now, you guys are seeing the good me. And tomorrow I'll be.
You're going to wear
walk
a
in
with
with
this
his comorbidities, what do they call it? His cohorts. He can come in, get in my face. There's more to that story, by the way, but of course it's my side. Anyway, I feel like I'm done. I'm going to go home and mash the A button as you
Oh shit! Mars talking about you! Oh man! Keep it going for Tom Oliphant. Alright, I have decided, because I am the god of this open mic, that I'm going to talk about things that Tom brought up, because I didn't feel like I told good jokes at the top of the set. And that's what we're doing here now. Tom.
Yes.
You get new ones every month. That's why they're called issues. So no, you resolve your anger issues, you get a new one every month. Other things I wanted to talk about, soy boy. My dear. So I used to drink a lot of soy milk after I heard that it had phytoestrogens in it. That's the whole thing about calling you a soy boy, is because you have estrogen that you're drinking in the milk that you drink, which is the hormone that women tend to generate more of than men, and you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of it.
Yes, so I used to drink a lot because I wanted to have tits. I had largely developed, it's called gynecomastia. I had a largely developed chest when I was a kid, which encouraged all of my 10-year-old friends to squeeze my nipples nearly constantly. All the goddamn time. Michael Hoff.
Oh.
Where there wouldn't be a dull moment before Mike would reach over to just cup my tit.
Wow.
Because, you know, you've seen it. That would happen a lot. It made me very self-conscious as a young, we'll say boy, trying to make my way in the world and be impressive to girls. I was a very late bloomer too, but there was a long time. I've talked about this on stage before, but like where I thought I was blooming so late with like masculine qualities. I was like, clearly I'm supposed to be a girl, and like they're just waiting to see which way the ball drops. It's like I'm watching the basketball in the movie. It's like Air Bud, and they go, and the dog's just watching it go around to be like, who is it gonna be? Is it a boy or no? Let's find out. And I was tired of waiting, so I started drinking a lot of soy milk because I was like, let's just fucking do all the way. And I still kind of feel that way. Now I'm a lot more like, you know, well-adjusted or whatever. But I still think that way. I'm like, I either need to like work out really hard, do a bunch of push-ups, and just get like solid muscle, or like implants. I want to go like full the other way. We have one vote for implants.
You can do both.
Here's the thing. I can do.
I like them all natural.
I can do both. 3 eggs all natural. Jesse, one of each.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be like that guy from Lady in the Water, and also that girl from Water in the Lady, which is a triple X rated. It's about. Well, oh no, I realize what it's about. I don't want to say it on stage. The other thing, so milk itself in all mammals is blood. It is blood with a higher fat content.
Oh.
This is the truth. So a friend of mine was nursing, and she told me, again, Michael Hoff, and she told me about the process of getting milk, and it's your blood thickens with fat content, and that's what produces milk. And it never occurred to me before, but like, where else would it come from, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like anything else that it could come from.
Got me.
It's just fats in your mind, like the lipids kind of concentrate, and then they become milk. Which means we are all vampires.
Dang.
We are all vampires, and it's not just the blood of Christ bit of the vampires where you drink the wine. No, we start out vampires, and I know that some babies, they don't latch or whatever in the formula, fucking whatever. Formula is just true blood. All babies are vampires. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I wrote down all babies are vampires.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I started chanting that somewhere, Jesse could join me in this. I think that's a great pro-abortion or pro-choice. I'm very pro-abortion, I think. I'm pro like late term abortions, like into your 50s. Just take them out. But I think that would be a great, all babies are vampires. That's a great reason. I want to get that image into the public consciousness. So we can go. Tom, you should know that there's an allowable rat droppings level in all food. Like that is a thing that the FDA has allowed for. So there's no such thing as good for good. Oh, the other thing about Jesus. This is just a thing that had nothing to do with what Tom was talking about, but I started word associating with milk and the blood of Christ.